Notify me. My notifications are on. Cool. Because I'll be notified when I'm live. What up? Oh, see, they're going back to hit me with a commercial straight out the gate. Oh, someone remind me to talk about Google. Because I didn't write it down. Even though I got my notepad, I didn't write down. Let's talk about Google and the history, or no, the future of search and search engines. Someone remind me. Thank you very much. Let me skip that. That is an old picture, but I happen to like it. That was taken obviously during the winter. Got like a heavy sweater on. What the hell is that all about? Maria Ann kicking off pre-stream. Cover the parking activities. Thank you very much. Alright, did someone remember that? Let's talk about Google. But I just had a flashback on the way over here. I gotta talk about. I mean, I rarely, if ever, talk about relationship matters in my life, in my world. But I think I'm gonna talk about this one. Basically because it happened like 30 years ago. But, you know, is what it is. Anyway, but massive flashback. So let's flash back to... Bam! Nah, that's a flashback. I done flashed it all the way back. Oh, we need ambiance. Hold everything. We need some... it is warm in here. What is up with that? Either that or I'm running extra hot today. Oofa. Alright, I don't want to turn this into a frickin', you know. There goes Haley. Want to say hello to Haley? What up, Haley? Need my ambiance. These things are kind of dangerous, so just be careful with them. Oh, like, don't do that. Or this. But I'm a professional, so deal with it. Alright, now we got an ambiance set up here. All the ambiances. Alright, where were we? We were somewhere over here. Boom. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, I couldn't wait to come out. I almost considered not, but oh, it's a hair over here. Hope this is one of Haley's. This thing's like long and weird. Ain't mine. Ain't got no long hair anywhere in my body. Alright. What do we got? We got to talk about stuff. We always got to talk about stuff. Woo, I couldn't wait to get out of the house. I'll tell you what. I haven't really left the house since Monday. I mean, I like my house. I don't have any problems with it, and it's been freaking 149 degrees. But I looked forward to coming out. I was just like, yeah, I almost didn't, but I was like, no. Gotta come out and see my friends. Alright, let's get a real sugar in there, because I've had like 0 carbs today, except for a little bit of milk. Let's toss in a couple of these green things here. What up, greenies? Mercedes told me last Friday when I was leaving that she just got married. So fellas, sorry. She's a married woman now. I'll do the hellos momentarily. And yeah, I did not stream on Monday or Wednesday because it's been, and it might be for a little bit, but I'll do the best I can. It's been another, let's see. There was one day this week I worked 14 hours and averaging 12. But it is what it is, and I'm freaking enjoying every second of it. Alright. I wouldn't say enjoying it, but it's good to be productive. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, and if a man ain't productive, there's something wrong with that man. I like this thing. It's kind of hot. Ooh, oh. See, Haley knows how to steam some milk. Someone said to me that I speak 2 different languages. They say I speak Bror Fredrik and I speak corporate. Which is true. Because, like, on the way here, I said, you know, I had to stop somewhere, and I was like, oh, you was here until at least 9 o'clock. And I was like, that's normal for me. You was here. I mean, yes, proper grammatical English would say you were here until 9 o'clock, but that's just the street in me. I can't help it. You was here until like 9 o'clock, you know, what's up with that? But I would not say that in a meeting. what was you guys doing? So I do speak 2 different languages. I speak fluent Streetnese, at least my version of it, or Brooklynese, whatever the heck, and freaking corporate. Corporate, I'm all about, you know, circling back and spinning up and ascertaining. Then I step in my other pair of shoes, and I'm just like, where's you at? That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, on hot days, you know, I should do lives from the studio. Unfortunately, I broke down the studio. Well, I wouldn't say unfortunately. I'm kind of happy I did. I have like a mini studio for business purposes, and I could do some live streaming out of there too, but nobody ever liked when I streamed from the studio. I mean, you know, if I had like 40, 50, 60 viewers, you know, versus, I mean, these sit and chat and chill kind of things only get like 100, 150. If I was walking out in the 100-degree heat right now, I'd probably have 200, 300. But in the studio, everyone was like, yawn. So, you know, I was dedicating an entire room in my house. You know, an entire bedroom was that studio. So I just, I thought better of it, and it's almost decombobulated. Shit, another commercial. I love the studio too. I love the vibe. I loved hanging out in there. I was good with it. But I guess, again, it was not popular. It was not a popular aspect of a Bror Fredrik. All right, let's spin this sucker around. Pump, pump, pump. Ooh, I like that. Let's get back over here. And we did get into deeper, interesting conversations. I mean, I could stream from like my bed, which is currently in the middle of the living room floor, because I'm painting the old studio. So I had to move that, and I'm just painting. I'm painting everything. Again. Remember I painted like 1.5 years, 2 years ago? I'm painting again. So yeah, good times I had by all. So my bed is sitting in the middle of the living room. I'll do a live stream from there. Would you guys super chat me? Oh, you ladies? Well, some of you guys. I ain't sure. Oh, that's a whole different thing. Yeah. Alright, let's see who's here and say some hellos, and I'm gonna drink this coffee. Mary Leathers, Jim Wolf, Maria Ann, Johnny Tadlock. Yeah, it's a semi-beautiful day in Vegas. It's under 100. It's 99. It was like 99.2 when I got out of the vehicle. Then you walk through the parking garage, it was like 160, 170. And then outside, it's 100. Not too shabby. Maria Ann, I think you got the 2 for Watanabe, Janice, Stephen J, Chanel for Shell, Tom Lars, what's going on, brother? Sony, Marie Bella, Kevin Hawthorne, Captain Luke, Bird, Kim Comin, Belinda Marie, how you doing? I haven't seen your name in a while. Good to see you. Let's see, Paramom, Rose Barber, how are you? BK, I like saying the hellos. Keep dropping them. How much coffee do I drink? Asked Michael Kruger. In the summer, not as much as I normally do. I do the single pot thing, but I don't use those K-cup shit because I'm frugal like that. Plus, I want to control my intake, and you know, I have like different things for different times or whatever. I have the K-cup one, but with the refillable things in there that I just freaking pack in there, and I twist it down like espresso. So I rip through single. When I do that, you rip through them because of the pressure. I mean, rip through. They don't last as long. let's see, I had I had 3 cups. This will be like 4 or 5. Tonight I'll have 1, which will be 6, and 2 frozen coffees. I freeze coffee this time of year. Right before bed. I gotta have my frozen coffee right before bed. I put it in the microwave for like 60 seconds. My freezer is like a deep freeze. Freezes fast. Put it in there for like a minute, put a little almond milk in there, chop it up with a fork, and I eat it like a smoothie and whatnot, just to cool me off from the inside so I can actually sleep, get all the heat out of me for the day. So, 5, sans these, normal day 5 or 6. 5 or 6 cups. That'd be about right. Plus this will be 7, but it's Friday. And I'm more fun when I'm highly caffeinated, and this is highly caffeinated. Let's see, what else? What else were we talking about? On a hot day, on a hot summer night, and the heat was burning, there was sparks flying over the sand. I heard, oh my God, this week has been, someone put in the thing, I love nostalgia, because I don't know, I haven't been nostalgic feeling lately, but my surroundings have been nostalgic. Like, all of a sudden, like, Meatloaf came up out of, I don't know where. I didn't even know he was dead, but that was like something I remember when I was like 6 years old, Meatloaf or whatever. And Meatloaf was freaking awesome. So I went on like Vivo, V-E-V-O, and I watched all his like, they were like theatrical videos and whatnot. Meatloaf was freaking awesome. Bat Out of Hell is still one of the best albums ever. But, yeah. On a hot summer night in the hill, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. Now don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm glad you weren't affected by the flash. I didn't even know was there flash floods in Vegas? I don't know, I haven't been out. There could have been, I don't know. Can you turn it off? Can you turn it off and on? Turn what off and on? Mary, can I turn it off and on? You missed me? That's awesome. Thank you, Paramount. Oh, we. Okay, we. I'll accept we. Let's see. Keep them comments coming. I like talking to everyone. A lot of coffee. 2 cups and I'm up all night. Yeah, I've been drinking coffee. I told you. There goes my street. Told you so. I told you, like, I started drinking coffee young. And by the time I was in freshman year at high school, I was on first shift at said high school. And we were in there by 6:30 in the morning. So I was on I think it was the Q113 or the Q11 bus out of Queens, like at 5:30 or so. So I was drinking coffee with the frickin' truck drivers and the sanitation dudes and whatnot, getting the coffee at the bagel, getting coffee and coffee and a bagel at the bodega and whatnot. So I've been drinking coffee forever. And like everyone was the same. You didn't have to say it. Like everyone in New York at that time was light and sweet. How do you want it? Light and sweet. Now I like it dark. I like my coffee dark, but still black. Black never did it for me. Real men drink black, yada yada. I got enough hair on my chest, wanna look down my shirt? I don't need any more. I don't know, it just doesn't make. I can do it, like there's certain times when I'm like completely out of milk. I don't feel like running up to the friggin' bodega. If I put enough sugar in it, it's tolerable, but I like the creaminess of it. Try maca, really? Is that my official karaoke song? No, I do. If I'm gonna karaoke, I try to do Frank Sinatra. And I could do Lady Luck. I could do a lot of Fly Me to the Moon and Let Me Play Among the Stars. I put my own twist on it. I could do a good Frank Sinatra. My interpretation thereof. I could do some 90s stuff. I could do a mean, what the heck's the name of that song from that movie? That song from that movie, you know what I'm talking about, right? That song from that movie. That other band did it, the whatchamacallit band, the a cappella band. What was the name of them? Oh shit, why am I drawing a blank? Any coffee. I won't draw as many blanks if I'm caffeinated. Brother, Where Art Thou? What the hell's the name of that song? It was worth leaving the house for that. It was worth leaving the house for that sip. I can't make coffee that tastes like that. I'm just being honest. Man of constant sorrow. Yeah, there you go, Mary. I'm a man of constant sorrow. I've seen troubles all my days. You know, that guy who hits those baritone notes in the home free version, I can't go, he's like 2 octaves deeper than me. He's like crazy deep. I go like, whoa. But I can get pretty damn close. I like that. I like doing that song. I can do some, believe it or not, Stained from the 90s. Stained. I could do a good Stained. I can't hit high notes. My balls would freaking explode. So no. But I've changed enough songs to accommodate that I can't do that, to like mess around or whatever. Because karaoke is fun. I mean, you know, obviously I'm a little bit of a ham. I don't mind being, you know, bright lights and stage and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, some things I just can't do. Never did a duet in my life. Boy, Haley, there's like no one in here but me. Oh well. Alright, let's see. 'Cause I'm a man of constant sorrow. What's good? Looking good. What's the diet like these days? E3323. Basically, almost 100% carnivore. I ate a salad, but that's just a conduit for dressing last night. But I put a bunch of ground beef in there. Eat it. And I put some Ken's walnut vinaigrette in there. Yeah, it's got a little carbs in it, but I'm keeping the carbs low. 25 to 50 a day, and I'm trimming up a little too much, I think. Yeah, but basically that. I ate a 5-pack of Danish sausage, cut them in half, fried both sides, threw ragout all over it, and you know, that's got a little carbs in that too. I ate a pound of bacon today. What else did I eat? Ate a pound of bacon. Can't even remember. I guess I did have some carbs. I got some raspberries, and I threw some raspberries. It was starting to get a little fachi, so I threw some raspberries and some cottage cheese and mashed them up real good. Cottage cheese has a few carbs, whatever. There goes 10. The berries have a little carbs, but yeah, that was pretty much it. But I'm gonna scarf tonight. I'm gonna eat well tonight. And last night, what else did I have? I ate a big piece of salmon. Yeah, big piece like this. I mean, it was like the whole friggin' fish, but it was delicious. I peeled the skin. I cooked it in some onions and peppers. What else did I put in that? And then I finished it at the end with like a half a stick of butter, and I had some heavy cream, and I made like almost like an Alfredo in there with some garlic and whatnot, and I just let it cook in there with the top on, and that was good. I dried it out a little bit. That was pretty damn good too. But for the most part, yeah, carnivore is what I've been doing. And okay, I keep saying it, but if I'm not living, breathing proof, eating fat helps you lose weight. What? The more fat you eat, the more weight you lose. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. But you have to eliminate carbs. You gotta get rid of them freaking nasty ass carbs, because you won't lose weight eating fat if you're still eating carbs. You just have to get to replace one with the other. And fat is delicious. But it doesn't look good on you when you're naked. It just doesn't. I mean, in certain cases it does. Depends where it is. Oh yeah, that was worth coming out my house for. Oh, you can see my boobies. Alright, what are we talking about here? Salmon is definitely filling. I mean, that sauce came out good too. Like I'll admit it, because no one was looking. I went like this with the plate afterwards. That's something I don't eat standing up. I don't eat breakfast. Breakfast is bullshit. I eat lunch and I kind of graze. You're not supposed to graze, but I graze, you know, during the day, kind of. But at night, I sit down like a human. I don't eat standing up. BCDC. Jim B, what's going on? Got all the crew. All right. You want me to tell a story? Want me to tell you the flashback I had? Like I said, this is rare. You might as well enjoy it. Because I rarely ever talk about anything relationship-wise. Because, to protect the innocent, you know? I don't need people stalking my exes and shit, you know? Not that I have that many. Alright. But this goes way back. I'm thinking maybe something might have happened to her. And I hope not. But I haven't thought about this scenario in years. But before I tell you this story, and I want your opinion on it, because today, in today's modern era, this would be totally freaking inappropriate. But the fact that it happened when I was like, it was either I was 14 or 15. I don't remember. I was either 14 or 15 years old. The fact that it happened back then, Trinidad in the house, what's up? The fact that it happened, you know, when I was a kid, like barely a teenager, so I can talk about it, who cares? And you feel free to chime in and talk about it. But if this happened today, in this world that we live in, things might be a little different, or not. But see, it's a double standard, the male opinion and the female opinion of a similar situation. And we're going to talk about that right after I invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, get notified when I do this again, which is at least 2 times a week. Oh, thumbnail time. Do you guys laugh? I hope you guys laugh. I mean, I laugh at myself sometimes. 2 times a week. That's a good one. Oh, I got a flex. Makes for a better thumbnail. Get some subscribers. There we go. Alright. Yeah. And I'm going to invite you to do all the stuffs down there. And Super Chat, Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff is greatly apprecited. Except what covers the cost of coffee and parking, which is freaking $30 because it's an event. No. It's 50 during an event. So there's not an event tonight. So it's only 30. Okay, good. All the stuff. Alright, cool. Thank you. And I appreciate you being here as well. Oh, wait, hold on. Alright. I'm getting moidalized with commercials. Just freaking stop already. Holy cow. Alright, so I'm cruising here. Someone remind me, okay, we'll get into this story, this little bit of nostalgia. Someone remind me to talk about Google and the future of search. Someone circle me back there. That's corporate. Circle back. Yeah, right, Mary? I mean, it's just like bam, bam, bam. Like, sometimes they do me like every 5 to 10 minutes, and sometimes I get like 3 for a whole 2 hours. It's weird. Okay. So I'm driving here. And being that Ozzy did his last concert, he did it sitting down in the chair. I mean, I saw that Mom, I'm Coming Home video, and yeah, I was a little choked up. I was just like, damn. I mean, I don't know whether it was because I felt sorry for him, whether I was saying goodbye, because I used to listen to Sabbath and Ozzy a lot. However, the real version, they got a station here, 92.3 here in Vegas, and it's classic rock, and it's freaking 90s music. And that's the music of my youth, was the 90s, you know? I mean, I'm trapped in that era. I freaking love it. Give me some screaming trees and shit, and I'm happy. Alt rock and whatever, yeah. Anyway, so they decide, because now it's a thing, they start playing Mama, I'm Coming Home. And I was just like, you know, every day's been interesting for the past while, couple months or whatever. So I'm just like, you know, I just wanted to, you know, I'm on the way here, and Mama, I'm Coming Home comes on. And I cannot relate to that song because it's very deep. I don't know if you ever heard it, but watch it with the lyrics. And it's about a guy, you lied to me, you cheated on me, but I can't let you go, but Mama, I'm coming home. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ballad. I like ballady songs. I like ballads, you know. I like songs with stories. That's why I'm into like 90s rap too. You know, you're on the corner, you're throwing some dice, this guy rolls up, you know. I mean, I like stories in my songs. Lyrics are important to me. I do not have a recommendation for a crawl party bus, unfortunately. I mean, there's so many of them in town, and I never partook of them. I'll go back into the comments, and I'll read your comments after this, after I get this off my chest. This is therapy. You're all my therapists right now. But, not really. Story time. Alright, so Mama, I'm Coming Home. Cannot relate, but it's a deep, deep, deep emotional song. And I'm all up in my feels, as the cool kids would say, you know, and I sung along as loud as I could, hit the notes that I could. Mama, I'm coming home. I can't do that, but I could just change the song to me, right? That song is about Ozzy and Sharon's. Yeah, Sharon to me seemed like a witch. I mean, as many bats as Ozzy bit the head off of, I think the wife bit more. I don't know. I saw her like once or twice when they had their reality show shit, but I mean, I'm not a huge. I mean, I can decouple. I've learned to decouple the person from the music and the song. Like, I've decoupled Christmas from religion, because Christmas has nothing to do with Jesus, because he was not born on December 25th, more like September 9th. Duh. You know, I'm good at decoupling things, you know, to make it okay. But I listen to lyrics. I freaking listen to lyrics, because I don't want to be like getting down to some freaking lyrics about, you know, weird drag shit or whatever, you know. No, I gotta know the lyrics, and if the lyrics are bogus or I disagree with them, the song is in the trash. Anyway, so I'm listening to Mama, I'm Coming Home, and it's, you know, you're feeling it. I don't care. If you haven't heard the song, pop it on, even if you're not into that kind of music. It's just deep and emotional. It hits the same way as Johnny Cash's version of Hurt by 9 Inch Nails, where it's just like, like all your emotions just come to the surface, even though, you know, you can't relate. He's talking about sticking needles in his arm and shit, and all the shit bad he's done in his life, and people moving on. I've never had that experience, but for some reason it triggers all your other things, you know? So I'm listening to Mom, I'm Coming Home. And I'm singing to Mom, I'm Coming Home. And this freaking thing, and it wasn't like life flashing before my eyes. I haven't thought about this situation or this person in 30 years or whatever. When I was 14 or 15 years old, I was dating this chick. Like, okay, I don't talk about relationships. This is so far, you know, removed. When I was 14 or 15, I was dating this chick. And she was like one of the local neighborhood Ginas and whatnot, you know? And one day, we was at the bar. I'm talking street. I'm off the corporate, you know, thing right now. we was at the bowling alley, right? So we was all at the bowling alley. A bunch of dudes who ran the bowling alley, you know, a bunch of guys like this was at the bowling alley, you know, whatever. So we'd hang out at the bowling alley. So I'm with this chick at the bowling alley. We were together, I don't know, a couple months or whatever. And chick's like, I gotta go. Gots to go. It's like, all right, my sister's gonna come pick me up. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, we didn't live that far. She's like, oh, do you want to ride home? I'm like, I can get down with that, you know, rather than walking. Back in the day, I didn't even drive yet. Back in the day, they were strict. I mean, you didn't get a freaking learner's permit until you were 16 and shit. You know, had to go through freaking driver's ed and all that. I don't know what they do now. They give driver's license at 10 years old. I don't know. Anyway, so up rolls this sweet white Mustang 2. You remember the Mustang 2s? It was a Mustang 2. It was white with like stripes on it and whatnot, like racing stripes, and it was kind of like lifted in the back and had some like Kragers on them and shit, you know. So it was a nice looking vehicle for the time. And I'm still getting besieged with freaking commercials interrupting my story. Don't be interrupting my story. Alright, I'm gonna check all your comments out in a bit. Okay, so up rolls this car, and it's a sister. So, because there's an etiquette, you know, like, I don't necessarily mind to this day if a woman drives me somewhere, if it's her car, but if there's a choice, I'm not in the passenger seat in a woman's car, unless it's like something, you know, if I can control the situation, if I have my vehicle and a female has her vehicle, we're taking mine, because I'm driving, you know. I find it, this might be me, I find it a little too submissive to sit in the passenger seat and allow a woman to drive. I mean, I've actually said that at times. I'm like, you mind if I drive? I'm like, no. And then, of course, I gotta roll the seatbelt, you know, to get in the car, but I do. I just feel better about it. It feels, I mean, all right, if you're with someone long term, you're on a road trip or whatever, you don't feel like driving, or you had a few, whatever, cool. You know, I'd be cool with that, but I don't really drink, so that's not an issue. Don't really go on road trips, that's not an issue, but it's happened. But for the most part, it just feels like weird, you know, it feels weird to me, you know? It's like, okay, picture if you had a horse, right? So you're on a horse. Would you, okay, this is what bikers call it, because I know bikers too, I know everyone. Ride bitch on a bike or a horse, like where the chick is like, you know, riding a horse and you're riding bitch on the back. No, right? No. Would you ride bitch on a bike? You know, chick's got a Harley and whatnot, and you're sitting on a little freaking seat in the back, you know, with your arms around her. That's called riding bitch. I can't ride bitch in a car. I don't see why there's any difference between something with 2 wheels and 4 legs or 4 wheels. To me, it's the same. It's like riding bitch. I don't ride bitch if it's at all possible. Just a little history of me. However, a Ford Mustang 2 is pretty freaking tiny. It's like it's like an RCH bigger than a Ford Pinto, right? So, the girl I was with, seeing, we used to call it seeing back in the day, you know? There was like, I'm seeing someone, then you'd be dating someone, but we were just seeing each other. That didn't mean you could see other people. It just like was like a no commitment thing, except with a commitment. Like, you can't see any other people, you know? But I'm seeing you, but you can't see no other people now. Come on now. All right, so, depends. Yeah, that too. Yeah, the Charlie's Angel car. Bingo. That is a Ford too. All right, so the chick I was seeing, and she was like 14 or 15. We were the same age. It was like whatever, high school. She gets in the back seat, right? Because I ain't fitting in the back seat of this little thing, you know? And it's bad enough I'm riding bitch, but I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. So I get in the front seat. She's in the back seat. The girl I was seeing, her sister's driving. So I slammed the door. How you doing? Good to see you. Let me get that handshake going.
Nice to see you.
Good to
How
see
you
you,
been?
man.
Everything all right?
Yeah, man.
Same old, same old?
Yeah. Always my favorite place to be. My favorite coffee in town.
Favorite table?
Favorite table.
Every time you come in, yeah, here he is.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the service. I appreciate the place. I appreciate everything you guys do. Just, all right, good.
Let us know if you need anything, all right?
Thank you very much. Again, my man. That's the main manager. I had to respect. I had to go up with the respect. All right. That's more of my street mate. All right, where was we in the story? Okay, so I get in the car at the bowling alley. It was like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, whatever it was, you know. Slam the door, and I look over. And I'm like, how you doing? Shit, you're not. I'm like, how you doing? She was 20-something, 22, 23, maybe even 24. I don't know. Yeah, she was, for all intents and purposes, a woman. Okay, so we're like, how you doing, this and that, whatever, and this other one's in the back over there. I don't remember, for the life of me, and I'm gonna forget about this whole thing as soon as I'm done talking about it. I don't linger in the past. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but somehow, some way, dropped me off. They left, whatever, and I can't remember. I don't want to think that hard about it, but now I am. Give me a second. And this is a true story, but give me a second. She started. Okay, I remember how it went down. She started. Now it all just came back to me. She started coming around the bowling alley where we'd all hang out. But we used to hang out, not downstairs was a game room, and there was asteroids and missile command and shit like that. But outside is where like we did all the hanging out and drinking and whatever. You know, like there was a parking lot there and whatever. And you know, these guys, well, it's like whatever. Until like a certain age, you're like, what are you dumb shits living your life in a freaking parking lot? You know, get out of here. Time to grow up. Anyway, and they beat us. They tossed a bunch of us a beating just to like tell us, you know, get on with your lives. This ain't too cool anymore. Anyway, so she started coming around constantly under the guise of picking up this chick I was seeing, right? Okay, so one day, this guy I knew, who later on in life, he joined the Navy, but he went AWOL. And we spent the whole summer, this is like a year or two later. I used to always hang out with older people. Like a year or two later, he went AWOL. He was like home for Christmas and he never went back. And we spent like 2 or 3 months running from like shore patrol and shit. I got stories. It's interesting. Anyway, so he had a bicycle. Now it's all coming back to me. He had a bicycle chain. It was like a small chain, and it had that plastic, the clear plastic on the outside. And somehow they were just screwing around like a bunch of knuckleheads. I'll tell you, if you want, I'll tell you later, like next week, next live stream, someone remind me to tell you about the chick who climbed the telephone poles. That's another deep story. Happened in the same spot, like 10 feet away. Anyway, this guy, he tossed it, and it bounced off the hood, not the hood, the roof of her car, and went across. And I was just like, because, you know, I was already like, how you doing with this chick? And I'd spend, every time she'd pull up, you know, I'd walk over to the car, whatever, you know, how you doing? You want to ride home, all this other shit. You know, she was, whatever. But she's like 10 years older than me. I was a kid. And I went over, and I gave him a ration of shit for hitting a car with a freaking lock and whatever. And she got out, and she was like, oh, thank you, you know, and she hugged me, right? I'm just like, and it was, there's hugs, and then there's hugs. You know when it's a hug, you know what I'm saying? I mean, guys, okay. I'm not even gonna get into that anyway. It was a hug. So I'm like, all right, message received, loud and clear. So she was like, oh, thank you. Like I was her knight in shining armor and shit. And so again, we wasn't a drive home every time we went, that type of thing. So we didn't always hang out at the bowling alley. We'd hang out in town, what we used to call it, where the townies were, even though we lived, you know, we didn't live in the country or anything. There was town. Then there was the park, there was the handball courts at the different public schools. You know, we had our spots. All right, so we go, and she says to me, she's like, you want to go to the beach? I'm like, yeah, that sounds fun. You know, I'd go to the beach and whatnot. I wouldn't mind seeing you in a freaking bikini. You know, no problem. The one, she's still in the back, you know, the girl I'm seeing, and she's like, yeah, let's go to the beach. So we're like, all right, bet. Next morning, pull up, 10 o'clock, yeah, I'll be ready for the beach. You know, got my shorts on, got my shit together, you know, had the Marlboro rolled up in the sleeve, you know, whole shit. She shows up alone. And I'm just like, where's Gina? Let's call her Gina, because she was a Gina. But not, I don't know if her name was Gina, but she was a Gina. So I'm like, what up? So she comes alone. And she's like, you know, so-and-so, my sister's not coming, but I still want to go, if you want to go. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. So we go to Rockaway Beach. Rock, you know, Rockaway Beach. So we go to I hung out at Rockaway Beach all the time. I got Rockaway Beach stories out the ass. The night I hung out with the Beastie Boys. Yeah, that'd be great. The night I hung out with the Beastie Boys. The night went on a 48-hour road trip with Frank Zappa that started at Rockaway Beach in his Lincoln Continental with the suicide doors and whatnot. Yeah, I got a lot of Rockaway Beach. Ramones, you know, I got a lot of Rockaway Beach was the spot back in the day. And I was a kid, but I always tended to hang out with people older than me. Hence the girl too. The young lady, the woman. All right, so we go to the beach. We go down to Far Rock, right? And you know, it's like the whole, hey, you want to put some suntan lotion on me shit, and we're just like, yeah. You know, and I had a couple bucks on me. I was working. I've been working since I was freaking 12. You know, I'd go buy some ice cream. Yeah, I couldn't buy alcohol, whatever, but whatever. So we had a fun time. And then suddenly, I'm seeing her. There was a degree of awkwardness when it got back to the one, her sister, who was my age, that I was seeing. That was a bit awkward, but we're just seeing each other. I mean, she wasn't allowed to see no one else, you know, but it was just non-committal. It wasn't like, yeah, you know, you can't see anyone, but I can. It wasn't like that, but it was just like a lighter degree of dating commitment. We're just seeing each other. So that meant basically you could walk away, you know, like you were supposed to be able to be like, hey, shit, this isn't working out or whatever, you know, I just, you know, moving on, whatever. Met someone, whatever. Like, it wasn't like, you weren't supposed to get all sorts of emotional. All right, so I'm just seeing this chick, so it was, you know, it was awkward as F. But, yeah, I'm seeing her. I mean, awkward dealing with the sister, but momentarily. She didn't come around the bowling alley no more, obviously, with her little crew of Ginas. But I still go to the bowling alley. I didn't show up with this girl, this woman. I never showed up with her there, but she would pick me up every single night. Every single night. Because, like, she wasn't trying to interfere. And I didn't even have a freaking license. I couldn't even drive. I could drive, but I wasn't even driving back then. And she was in her, you know, sweet little freaking Mustang, too. So I'm like 14 and she's like 24. So one day, to my surprise, all the shit that I've done, like as a youth, around my moms and my grams and whatnot, The one and only time my mother ever gave shit about who I was associating with, my known associates, you know, as they'd say in the business. She comes to pick me up. We're going to the beach again because we had a great time. So might as well go to the beach again.
I'll come back and grab the other one.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Perfect. Yeah, hell. Kind of look like hell, if I'm honest, except with short hair. I don't know. Or am I projecting? No, it kind of does. Anyway, I'm going for the raw sugar. All right, here comes the story's still coming. So my mom, she's coming to pick me up. We was going to go to Jones Beach this time, right? So we were gonna go to Jones Beach, and so she comes pick me up bright and early in the morning and whatnot. And I'm going out, and you know, I'm ready, and my mom's comes out, and she comes walking up to the car, and my mom's was an interesting person, but I never seen her give anyone shit about my behalf. I just lived my life and whatnot. She came out, and she said to this woman, young lady, "What do you want with my son? What are you doing with my son? I see you with him all the time. What are you doing with my son?" That's all she said, you know? Like a protective father, you know, would with a daughter. But there's a double standard going on here. She's like, "What are you doing with my son?" And she was like, "We're just friends and this and that." And, you know, and I'm like, yeah, we're just friends. We're going to the beach and all this other shit. Yeah, and then she kind of went away, but she did give me some shit. I was still living at home at that time. I moved out at just before, I think, my 16th birthday. I moved out. I got my own apartment. All right, now you find out all sorts of shit. I got my own apartment when I was 16. I lived for like 2 months with this dude who was a little freaking nuts. He had such bad OCD, and I think it was contagious. Thank you.
I guess I gave you too much sugar.
Oh, that's good. I'll use it all, or I'll put it back, or I'll put it in my bag. All right. So, where were we? She distracted me. Yeah, I had an apartment when I was 16. I'll admit I lied to the guy. I told him I was 18 because I had a motorcycle and shit. Anyway. So I had my own apartment since I was free. Oh, OCD. I think it's contagious because this guy was bad, and I picked up some of those habits that still are with me to the day. But anyway, so I had my own apartment when I was 16, you know? Didn't know her then, though. Anyway, still living at home, kinda. I had just moved back. I did a little stint in Lake Tahoe and whatnot. All right, cool. That's why I love Lake Tahoe, because I lived up there. Yeah, crazy dude with the OCD. Woo, boy. He was nuts. Like, he would have a checklist. I mean, he had, like, magazines on the the coffee table. He was older than me, of course. On the coffee table, God forbid you frickin' looked at one. He would, like, be measuring it with a fucking micrometer to see that they were all fanned. Oh, my God. We had bikes. I had a KZ750 bored out to a 810. He had some kind of Honda CBR or something. I forget. We used to go ride. We used to go freak ride. We would do a pre-flight checklist that would rival what they do launching something off a frickin' aircraft carrier. It was just like, dude, you know, I couldn't hang with this dude, but, you know, it was a temporary thing. Anyway, so I didn't want to live home anymore. Anyhow, so Mom's is like, "What are you doing with my son?" and whatnot. The weird thing is, and I'll get off the story in a bit, the weird thing is, you know how many people gave me shit about that? Even my friends. You know, I thought they'd be like, I mean, ultimately later on, they wanted to high-five me. They were like, "Score, dude," you know? But, like, my mom's wasn't down. My grams, she was kind of high-fiving me. She was just like, "Cool, you know? Just be careful with this one." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just seeing her, you know? Just seeing her." it lasted a summer, better part of a summer, but people used to give us so much shit. Like, it was wild, you know? I mean, looking back at me when I was 15, I probably have a picture. I could show you what I looked like when I was 15. I mean, I looked like I was 15, a little older maybe, but I didn't act 15. People gave us shit, you know? Like, everywhere. It was so awkward to see that. It's more normal to see the other age differential than that age differential, but it was 10 years, but, you know, she wasn't like taller than me or anything, you know, it was just like, what up? That was an experience. But it was not accepted. Even my mom's found that, like, weirdly inappropriate. I didn't. I'll be straight up honest. I didn't. I was kind of proud of the whole situation. I was just like, you know, like, what's Van Halen's song, you know, Hot for Teacher or whatever? I mean, I guess it's different for a guy than it is for a girl. Like, if a 24-year-old dude was picking up some 14-year-old girl to go to the beach, yeah, you'd be calling the friggin' cops. I mean, nowadays they'd probably be calling the cops on that situation too, because, you know, you see these teachers, you know, having affairs with their 14-year-old students, and they're like 24 also. But back then, you know, people thought it was awkward. I mean, I didn't, and I think that's what kind of drove us apart too, because, like, eventually dudes weren't even talking to me no more. It wasn't that they were, like, disapproving of it. I mean, it was borderline jealousy that now I had this chick with a ride, and I did drive her freaking car every once in a while, but it was just like the sense of, like, I was leaving them behind, kind of. I wasn't hanging out the same, because she didn't want to hang out. You know, she was 24 years old. She didn't want to hang out with a bunch of freaking, you know, young teens at bowling alleys and freaking, you know, parking garages and, you know, handball courts and shit. You know, so we just did other things. We couldn't go to bars. There was one bar we could all go to. There was this neighborhood bar right by Dead Man's Hill that they never... We were going into that bar from like 14, 15, 16 years old. Like, nobody gave a flying fuck, you know? So we were just going to bars. Like, kind of a biker bar. And there was a lot of, like, dudes who came back from Vietnam in there. You know, they was all fresh from the Nam and whatever. Well, not exactly fresh from the Nam, but... still in the Nam, and we'd hang out there once in a while, but yeah, it was weird. Like, I expected just to blend in and shit, but it just didn't go down like that, you know? And, like, when I got back, you know, with the crew, after that sort of, like, faded away, I think we just both, you know, it wasn't really the age thing. It wasn't that we didn't have anything to talk about. We had a lot of fun. I mean, we had a lot of fun. Did shit, road tripping, beaches, all the things. But ultimately, you know, I mean, I was out of high school, you know, well, I wasn't going back to high school by the time this ended. I don't remember exactly what the final... I don't even want to think about it. I don't know what the finality of it was, but... yeah, there's one buddy of mine. He was a cousin of Steven Tyler. And we used to hang out all the time. I had like 2 Thanksgivings with Steven Tyler because he came over for the family joint and whatnot. And he was the first one who was like, cool, you know, and I was just like, hey, you know, you seeing that chick anymore? And I'm like, nah, we ain't seeing each other. What about her sister? You know, you're going to start seeing her again, you know? She's still around. She hasn't been with no one yet. You know, because, yeah. Once I know someone's been with someone, I ain't going back to that person. That's just like, you know, that's just like if people put their fingers in that coffee, I ain't freaking drinking it. I ain't going back to a woman who's been with someone, you know? If there's a gap and I know that... Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So no, I never went back and seen her. But that was interesting. But it was odd. Like, I did not find anything whatsoever inappropriate about that. Not a damn thing. I mean, it was awkward when, like, she was like paying for certain things and whatnot. I mean, I had my own money, but there were certain things that you need like a credit card for, and I never credit card, you know. I never friggin' ATM card, you know. I was dealing in cash, you know. So certain things that she had to do and whatever, deposits and stuff. But I didn't really feel any way about it. It just seemed like completely normal. I wasn't just like, you know, oh wow, look at me go. It wasn't like that. It was just like another person, you know. I didn't really. I mean, at first it was like, you know, this is kind of interesting. You know, it was an experience in a young man's life, and it wasn't for her experience or the experience. It just so happened. You know, it wasn't like, ooh, I'm into this or that or the other thing. It just so happened. But I don't know what the end. Damn, my coffee's stuck. I don't know what the end thing was, but I just remember the level of unacceptance, even from dudes. I think that's the part I'm trying to get at. It was even the dudes. And some of it was jealousy, but other parts were, I don't know. They were just like, what are you doing with her? Like, she's hotter than 3 of these little freaking Geners put together. So I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, straight up. But yeah, just a level of like, yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Like non-acceptance. Like, how would I say? Like shunning a little bit. I felt a little shunned. Yeah, Miss Google, when you click, you click. But that was my flashback. I mean, there's no climax to the story. It just was what it was. But different times, you know? Because nowadays, it wouldn't just be like, well, that's weird that you're seeing a 24-year-old. I did have a little bit of a stint with someone who was 15 years older than me a little later on in life. I'll admit it. I don't have a thing for older women or whatever, but it was, yeah, you know, I mean, it was my comfort level because I was always like a little more mature, ahead of my time and shit. I mean, I started my first business when I was 17, my first business when I was 17 years old, you know, so I've always been like, you know, yeah, I had the DMV how to drive frickin' owner's manual when I was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, and I was practicing with a frickin' red flyer dragon, how to wagon, how to parallel park and shit. I was just so ready to get on with my life, you know. So I've always been a little ahead per se. Oh, but you didn't have a childhood. But I had one hell of a young adulthood. I mean, how many in the audience could tell me that they hung out with Frank Zappa for frickin' 48 hours straight and only stopped the gas? We went to a pawn shop. All right, I'll say it. Went to a pawn shop to pawn some of his jewelry. It was a wild night, you know? And my mom's was upset that night, too. How come we haven't come home in 2 days? That was a big fight. I'm like, but it was Frank Zappa. Oh, no, it wasn't. I was like, it was Frank Zappa. We hung out with friggin' Frank Zappa. No shit. But anyway, whatever. So I was always a little ahead of my time. I was always the black sheep and whatever, but I always hung out with older people. But I had that flashback today. And that was triggered by Mom, I'm Coming Home. You know, I can't even relate to that song, but that whole memory came flooding back. And it started with the clear sound of my friend's lock and chain bouncing off that chick's roof. Because that's what started it all. I could just hear it and see it. And I already kind of like, you know, had a crush on her already. So that was like a thing. When he hit that, that's when when he hit her car with a friggin' lock with a chain on it by accident, but being stupid, that's what started the whole thing. So, yeah. So I hope she's all right. So she's what? She's 10 years older than me now. She's probably got like grandkids and shit, right? Yeah, right? Isn't that weird? That's weird. That's a weird story. I just had to get that off my chest. We'll get back to regularly scheduled bullshit in a second. What time is it? Oh, we got time. All right. Now I'll get back to chat activities. Let me just see if we got any super chat activities. Nope, 0. Oh, nope. Maria Ann. Thank you very much. Let me read Sugar Shot Edge. Okay, now I'm going to read the comments. Ba, 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 ba. Not a lot of comments. You guys were engaged in that story. Whoa. What up? Mary had a beautiful omelet with bacon and Swiss. No bread in 3 weeks. Good for shit. Good for you. Look at this. Let's send Bror Fredrik another freaking commercial and make him re-trigger his chat again. Oh, dang. What up? Alright, how's that ceramic tint? I'm loving that ceramic tint. I mean, it's expensive, but I'm considering putting it when I hit lotto. I'm gonna put it in the house. I'm gonna put it in the house because there is such a massive difference. Massive difference having that ceramic in the vehicle. The car is so much cooler when I get in. Wow. It's a huge difference. It was worth every freaking penny. You're gonna get, extreme window tint. They'll tell you if you're gonna get it. No link in the description. But if you're gonna get your windows tinted, Google search. Get the ceramic jam. It's like double the cost of the 3M bullshit, but it's night and freaking day difference. I mean, magic. Some kind of freaking voodoo that they do. Jimmy Boyles, what kind of... I've been all over. I was born in Brooklyn. Moved to various parts of Queens. Finally moved out to Long Island. And then started my life moving all over the freaking country. But, yeah, originally born in Brooklyn. Richie77. Do they use tint? Like, I don't know, Tom. It's just some kind of like, I went into the spot and they're just like, these are the 3 grades. And they had like a middle grade, but you know what they do with the middle, they want you to buy it, but the super duper, it was like 300, 5 something, and then like 7. It was like a little jump. It was a big jump to get to the middle, a really big jump to get to the end, but there was a small jump from the decent, the good version to the best version. So I was just like, for $150, fuck it. I mean, wow. I mean, literally, you put your hand up to it, roll it down, the sun, you feel like Sarah Connor holding onto the fence, you see your skeleton and whatever, you start burning, you put it back up, it's like, oh, I mean, it still feel like heat, but it's not searing heat. A lot of difference, but yeah, I would love to put that on the house. Did I ever run into Trump in New York? Yes, I ran into him 2 or 3 times, as a matter of fact. One time I did see him when this was way back in the day. We're over by like Leona Helmsley's hotel, and we was cruising, and he was helping push a car. I shit you not. He was helping push a car. We're just like driving, right? Yeah. And there go Trump. And he's helping dude. Like, okay, in New York, I don't know if it's still like that now, but there is a level of camaraderie, and it has got nothing to do with black, white, brown, yellow, nothing. It's just like if someone's broken down, people used to help each other, Like if you were broke down, especially if you were a woman. Nowadays, women are so independent and strong, you're just like, whatever. You're strong and independent, you can change your own tire, whatever, Feminism killed chivalry, although I still will hold doors for women and stuff. And so when someone's like broken down, especially if it's like, like right in the middle of something and it's blocking traffic, people will stop, get out of their vehicle, or used to, and just help push the car out of the way. And they go Trump, helping push some dude's car out of it. It was like 3 or 4 people, but I'm like, isn't that Trump? Because he was a freaking hero. Before he decided to be in politics, everyone loved him. Everyone in New York loved him, like Gotti, Everyone loved him. It's just once he got into politics, shit changed. But people forget, everybody loved him. Black, white, brown, yellow, red, did not matter. Everyone loved him, you know? He was just a man of the people. He was like something to aspire to, but now they villainized him. You know, but back in the day, it was the joint, you know? Everyone loved him. I couldn't find anyone who talked shit about him because he was, you know, he'd pass out, he'd help people and whatever. But he literally freaking got out of his limousine and helped push a freaking car to the side of the road. And I was sitting there and I'm just like, what up, you know? But I did meet him 2 other times. One for business-related shit, and once at, there was another time at Westbury Music Fair. I actually met him and shook hands and whatnot. We were like, what up? Yeah, anyway. Got my 6.6 miles of walking. Well, that's good. You're welcome, Brian D. Alright, let's see. Experiences like this teach us. Yeah, absolutely. Now there's a bunch of people coming in. Now that is a sunburn. That girl looks like a friggin' lobster. So everyone's kind of getting hit with the crazy ass commercials. Yeah, that's the same. Oh, good night, Mary. I didn't see you were going. Have a good night. Today, Chanel Michelle, she would get arrested. But like I would, you know, if I was in that relationship situation, I was 14, she was 24, and the cops came, I'd be like, leave her alone. Leave her alone. What's the problem, you know? Like, I fully consented, you know? I was proud to be with her. It wasn't just like, ooh, I'm with an older woman. It wasn't like that, you know? I was mature enough to make a decision that, you know, I wanted to see her. It wasn't like, it was a conscious decision. It wasn't like I was being taken advantage of, that I was like a boy toy or something. It was different. So if the cops ever showed up and been like, no, what's going on here? I'd be just like, you know, we're out, you know, let us be. But anyway, it was weird. When guys are younger, it's a score to get an older chick, and when you're older, it's a score to get a young one. Yeah, exactly. True. Porkenstein, what's going on? Depends on how big a booty. What's going on, bro? I'm connected on some higher-ups in Google. Patrick, what's going on, bro? I'm connected to some higher-ups in Google for behind the scenes with you in person. Alright, that sounds interesting. Let me know. Alright. Wow, the chat's quiet. You guys like reliving your own stories back there? You reliving your own youths? Alright, so let me just tell you quickly about the Google search thing. Thank you for bringing me back there. $1,800 for 60 inches by 100 feet. Do you have to buy a big ass roll of that ceramic shit? I got a couple patio doors, couple windows. Yeah, probably would need 100. So 8, this is 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet. Yeah, I probably would need 100 feet. $1,800? I guess that's not terrible. It's Richie77. It's slow. It's pretty damn slow. It's quiet here in town. People are just like protesting because of, you know, the Chicago. I got distracted. It's, you know, it's not the cheapest place to be. Anyway, age is just a number, intentions prevail. Yeah, see, now, you could say that when it comes to the situation that I was in. I was 14, she was 24. But what about a 24-year-old dude with a 14-year-old? Like, what? I don't understand why that's like a different level of perverse than a 24-year-old girl with a 14-year-old boy. It's weird. You know that, okay. You know that Mary and Joseph were about 15? They were 15 years old. Between 15 and 16 years old. I shit you not. Look it up for yourself. Do your own study. Don't take my word for it. But Mary and Joseph that you put in your nativity set were not freaking 30 years old. They were teenagers. They were 15, 16, maybe 17 years old. Mary and Joseph, the Immaculate Conception. They were teenagers, young teenagers. And he was probably a little older. I'm not like condoning any of this. I'm not, don't misinterpret what I'm saying here. But that's just facts. That's just straight up facts. They were kids. Mary and Joseph, they were kids. They weren't like, they were not the same ones from the nativity set that you got at home. Let's have some more coffee. All right, let's talk about that made you put you in reminiscing mode. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I've been like scrolling down memory lane, but not about anything super califragilisticexpialidocious. Oh, anyway. You can see what I just seen right now. I mean, it was odd. It was odd. Anyway. I don't know why I've been strolling down that. It's not for any specific reason. I don't know. Okay. Search engines. Yes, I am caffeinated Venus. No name, but my first boyfriend was 27 when you was 17. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. 15 years difference. Yeah, I mean, age is just a thing. But, again, 15-year-old girl, 25-year-old dude, that's highly inappropriate. It's weird for some reason. Anyway, okay, search engines. Let me drink some more coffee, and I'm gonna wean you off of Google forever. Google is a turd when it comes to search. I've used it almost my entire internet life. Google. You know, you search on Google, right? You search some shit up on Google. Alright, nowadays you search on Google. You want to know how to do some Next.js coding, or you want to find out how to reset your freaking Maytag washer like I had to do the other day. Okay, I had a problem with I got one of those I go down different paths here once in a while, but circle me back to Google. If you have the opportunity to get another fucking commercial. Oh my God, shut up. If you have the opportunity, never, ever, ever take, if you do it, it's on you. But I warned you, don't ever get a high efficiency washing machine. Oh, so you put your clothes in and it goes like this. And it's like, oh, it feels like there's 4 pairs of underwear, 3 socks, and a towel. We're gonna give you this much water. Like it weighs it out and judges how much water you frickin' want in it. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've gone and get a frickin' bucket because I got the laundry thing there and put more water in it. The high efficiencies are the ones without the agitator in the center. Never get one. Never. I would throw that shit out the window if I could. It's the bane of my existence. You have to trick it. You have to trick this fucking thing. I have to put it in, let it fill up with what it thinks is water, hit cancel, hold the button in for 3 seconds until the machine resets, goes into the sensing cycle again, and feels that it's heavier, thus needing more water. I have to trick this frickin' machine. No, never, ever, ever get a high efficiency. It gives you barely enough water. Barely enough water to clean anything. And I don't give a shit about water. I'm in the desert, I should conserve. Half the shit doesn't even get wet. I mean, I'm watching it do its thing. I got a pencil in the thing so I can watch. In the sensor, I'm looking in there. Half the clothes is dry. And it's just going... I want to get a T-valve off the back with another hose so I can frickin' I'm doing manual labor to wash the clothes on a freaking $800 washing machine. Never buy one. You heard it here first. They suck. They suck. What were we talking about? Oh, so I wanted to reset it. It says, oh, maybe if you reset it, maybe recalibrate it. So I'm like, hey, Google, how do I recalibrate my freaking washing machine? And it pops up, you know, this and that and whatever. Okay, so I found some information there, right? Everything else that you Google, we say it like it's like Google equals search. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And how you can prove it is, okay, go get Copilot. Go get Copilot, which is the AI. It's basically free. It's like ChatGPT, right? AI is taking over the freaking world, and if you're not on board, you are missing the boat. You are missing the boat because you can go into Copilot or ChatGPT if you prefer. I use Copilot, a little bit of Gemini, some Claude, and you can go in there and do the same search. And what it does is, okay, when you're in Google and you're like, okay, you search in Google for, you know, is this bullshit healthy? Okay, maybe it is, maybe. And what are you gonna find? You know, is this healthy? Is it what is the meaning of a Mjolnir? Whatever you put in there, it's like it gives you first their version of what it's so filtered and it's so bullshit. They tell you what they want you to think, number one. They tell you how the results that are getting bought and paid for, and they don't tell you that shit behind the scenes. Their algorithm blows chunks. And if you do dig into some deeper information, you want information. I'm figuring out how to code this. I need to do that. I need to write a script for this, or it's simple. Okay, I'll give you a simple example. I want the number to Airbnb, let's say. I have a problem, I need to speak to Airbnb. You go on their website, there ain't no freaking number to Airbnb. So how do you find the number? So you Google, number for Airbnb. What's gonna pull up? Some websites, some bullshit, and then like 9,000 Reddit articles. You know, 4,000 freaking chats in some obscure news group. And you gotta sift through all that bullshit. It's just like, to actually find something nowadays that they're not trying to sell something to you or bullshit about something is freaking difficult. However, you go to Copilot and you put, how do I write a script that does this? Or how do I do that? You know what? If you wanted to know if this shit is good or bad, you take a picture of it. You upload it to Copilot. And you don't even have to ask it. All you put is, what is this? Upload, bonk, and it'll go to frickin' town. It'll tell you everything about it, because what it does is it searches the search engines. It searches the internet. It searches Facebook. It searches the entire frickin' internet and distills the information. And then then it'll ask you questions. Would you like to know the pros and cons? Like if you say, you know, I'm thinking of whatever. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of planting tomatoes in Las Vegas. You could tell Copilot, I'm thinking of planting tomatoes in Las Vegas. Tell me the pros and cons and what types would be good. And it'll show you which tomato plants will eat a bag. It'll tell you which ones will grow. It'll give you your soil conditions. It'll give you the nutrients you might need to add. It'll ask you, and then it'll be like, hey, what kind of, and it'll ask you, it interacts with you, and it says, what kind of soil do you have? Is it rocky? Is it sandy? Is it caliche? And you're like, yes. And then it starts going on a whole nother tangent. Oh, well, based on your answer, holy shit. You could upload like a picture of a car. Let's just say you want to know what model car something is. You just have a picture, you have no idea what model car it is. You take a picture of said car, you upload it, and it tells you, oh, that's a 2022 whatever, and it has, and you're just like, now Google does have that shit, Google Lens, where you take pictures of something, it'll tell you what it is. It's wrong like frickin' 90% of the time. Like completely frickin' wrong. And it's always trying to sell you something. I'm just sitting here like, yeah, Grok 3 is good, all that shit. Just forget about Google it's like talking to a child. It's literally like talking to a child. Whereas you get into the AI and it's like, you could ask it anything. Give me the pros and cons. You could ask it to, oh, well, I got this situation going on and that situation going on. And it'll ask you, it'll tell you the pros and cons of the situation. And then it'll ask you like 5 questions. It'll say, would you like us to help you draft a letter about this? Would you like to do this about that? Now going back to the number, say what did I use? Airbnb. So you ask Copilot or Grok, what is the number for Airbnb, the corporate number? It'll find it. Where on Google, you will never find that number because it's buried. It's some dude posted in a Reddit group 2 years ago on a thread that has 900 people in it. Hey guys, I found the number because I got a cousin who works there and they told me that the number is this, and verified. So the AI will go out and search everything inside Google all over the frickin' planet, and so you don't have to. And it'll just be like, here's the number. 1-800, F you. Life-changing. Life-changing. The time savings, I've told you about this before, that I've been into this AI things for about almost 2 years now. I was a beta user for ChatGPT. So I've been in this AI game, effing around with it for at least 2 years, maybe more. Some people are like, oh, I've been in for a couple months. It's like, oh, okay, youngster, but they're coming into a more improved version. But now, whoa, I wouldn't even think of using Google whatsoever because it's just like, it's too much work. It's like self-checkout at the frickin' grocery store. I gotta bag it, I gotta scan it. Well, Google search, it's like self-frickin' checkout. Oh, thanks, Google. So now you're trying to sell me something for the first 3 and generate revenue for yourself. The second 3 are generic bullshit. And on page 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all the Reddit ads and obscure things that I gotta sift through until I find out what I... No. You go into Copilot, hey, what's the phone number to this? Here it is. And then it's like, you want us to call? It's a trip. It's a freaking trip. Get off the freaking Google, the Bings, and all the rest of that. Get your lives. Find out what AI can do for you. Because even in that simple search functionality, and it doesn't bullshit around and give you 7 pages of bullshit. You ask for a number, it gives you the freaking number. You ask for, okay, getting back to the tomato reference. What's the best month to plant tomatoes? And it'll be like, where do you live? I can't answer. And it'll say, okay, I live in this town. It'll be like March. End of story. It's like having an expert at your disposal for everything. For everything. It's wondrous. Versus going to Google, let's say, when's the best time to plant tomatoes? And the first 3 things are going to try to sell you tomatoes. The next few are just like some bullshit and click here to find out more and all the things. Copilot and Grok are just like, oh, you live in Vegas? Don't waste your time, bro. It'll just straight up be like, nah, you're better off planting rosemary. It's the only shit that grows in Vegas. It'll literally tell you that. And if you type in, hey, bro it up or whatever, or talk like, you know, talk a little slang, it'll be like, yeah, that's cool. It's a trip. It's a trip. Don't put your personal stuff in there. Don't put like your phone numbers and like, don't put personal stuff in there. But yeah, it's a trip. It's seriously. I'm getting another commercial for face cream, for makeup. You got me confused. I tried to watch that Ballard with Maggie Q. Cause I kind of like the stuff that she's in. She's got so much makeup on. It's like that Photoshop in a bottle. Her face color is a whole different color from the rest of her body. It's just like I couldn't wrap my head around. The show is definitely geared more towards women. Like I got through one episode and I was just like, it's good, but I want to see some things blow up. You know, I want to see like The Punisher. I've been watching The Punisher again. I want to see some like, you know, some Captain Kirk level shoulder rolls and stuff. I mean, it's not that kind of show. It's a little more investigative and whatnot. So, I mean, I'll probably circle back to it, but just the makeup. And then all the women's makeup in that show is just like, whoa, you just got a Google commercial? Yeah. Yeah, they listen. They listen. All right, let's go back to chat activity. What time is it? 7:26? That ain't bad. Has anyone seen Trish? I gotta sing Trisha some happy birthdays. I gotta sing some happy birthdays. Alright, let's get over here. Farmer's Almanac will tell you when to plant them. Yeah, sure, but see, why would I go through? I mean, I get that. My grandmother used to be a big fan of the Farmer's Almanac, but at the same time, why bother? You know? I mean, that's nostalgic and everything when you could ask, you know, AI. When's it? It'll tell you like March 22nd at 5 p.m. Because it probably reads the. That's the thing. It probably reads. It probably reads the Farmer's Almanac, you know? Like, you know, it'll read 100, like, business questions, coding, how to fix your what, you name it. It'll just distill all the and not only that, you don't even have to take its word for it. As it's producing pros and cons, it'll give you links to all the places it found information relative to your question should you want to look further. It's wild. It's wild. Jim West, yeah, you're right. Oregano does grow in this weather. Rosemary. Matter of fact, I bought some rosemary. I bought it at El Super. It was live rosemary. It comes with a little clump with the topsoil, and you see the roots and whatever. And it was like $1.50 for some fresh rosemary. So I bought a bunch of them. I bought some soil and I put them in a pot. So I want to grow a crazy rosemary bush inside, you know? Because I like the smell. And it's good on chicken. Tom, you down, right? You're down with the AI. I mean, it's just, yeah. It's just such a time saver. Standard searching for shit. It's Jurassic. I mean, I still catch myself doing it, mainly because I'm sure there's a way to put Copilot or, you know, Claude or whatever on the phone. I just haven't yet. But I gotta at home, you know, it's like draft me a letter to do this, or, Copilot, I have Copilot integrated into all my Office apps, and it's just, you could be like, find any, okay, it can do it, right? You can filter and do all the things inside here, and, you know, you could you can pull up a Word doc that's like 40 pages long and tell Copilot, it's integrated into every Office product, summarize this and give me a list of actions I need to take. Give me a 30,000 foot view of what I'm reading right now. And it'll be like, basically this document is summarizing this, here are the bullet points, blah, 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 blah. Would you like us to develop an action list for you? Because it gets to learn how you think after a while, and I'm all about the actions. And you'll be like, yeah, some MF around here has got a lot of cologne on. There's no dude within 15 feet of me. It must be this dude. He's like 25 feet away from me, and I smell him clearly. I mean, it's nice cologne, but I need to smell you over here, bro. I'll be taking baths in it. Just used to listen to it. Yeah, it's a generational thing. Of course it is. But, you know, if it saves you time, the most valuable commodity is time. We get a certain amount doled out to us in life. If you could spend it, if I could spend it doing the things I enjoy, if I could spend it with the people I care about, if I could spend it being productive on things that are advancing my life or the lives of others, I'd rather spend my time doing that, the limited amount of time we have here on Earth. Rather than doing mundane shit like sweeping the floor, like washing my car, like doing the dishes, like searching for tomato opportunities. You know, that's what I want. I want to spend my life doing that. That's why I can't wait for the robots. You know how freeing that's gonna be? You know, to have a robot that's gonna cook and clean and do all the shit. I mean, sometimes I might want to cook. Sometimes I might want to drive. But for the most part, if I can hang out and enjoy someone's company in the back seat while my robot's driving us to and fro, I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that, you know? I'd rather spend my time doing something interesting and productive instead of vacuuming. Vegas is dusty. Vegas, I don't care. I have my place like hermetically sealed. And like a week after I do everything, it's like, no way. Where did this come from? I go through, I had literally have to change the air filter on my AC once a month. And it's like, you could just like, and it's like a giant dust bunny. It's almost like when you dry your laundry and you pull out the filter. That's how dusty it is in Vegas. So, yeah. Why do I want to, you know how much of a pain in the ass it is for me to change my filter? I gotta get on my hands and knees. I gotta reach in this little freaking crawl spot. And my robot could do that. I mean, yes, as a man, I like to be productive and use my hands and do shit. Yes, but I also want to relax. I also want to spend time with people that I care about instead of doing menial labor, per se. But I like menial. I like washing the dishes sometimes because it's nice. And, you know, I like the warmth of doing it. I get to think and all the things. I'm not going to get lazy because of it. But do I really want to wash my car? You know how many times I've hand-washed a car in my life? 1,000? Do I want to go 1,001? No. At this stage of the game, no. And I'm not old, but if I can get a freaking robot to go out and wash the bird shit off my car, all day. I'd rather go make some money. You know? It's like the principle of diminishing returns. If it's costing you money by not spending money, that's the principle of diminishing returns. So, it's costing me money not to buy a friggin' robot, you know? That's how I'm gonna think about it. I don't change my own oil anymore. I changed my own oil for years. I have a set of ramps for changing my own oil. And the special thing with the thing and the oil wrench, the oil filter wrench, all the things, you know? But I lose money doing it, you know? It's almost a break even just on parts. Walmart does it with Pennzoil for $59. The parts, the oil and the filter or like 45, I'm gonna fuck around for $15. I could be making $115 in the same amount of time, so why bother? You know, it's just a diminishing returns. Just having the AI and the robots, you have to think about, yeah, just don't buy a high efficiency robot. Oh, that high efficiency washing machine. Never. If you don't have an agitator, it's the only buyer's remorse that I have in my life. I wouldn't say the only, but as of late, getting a high efficiency frickin', I mean, it's giant. Without that agitator, you could fit like 2 people inside the washing machine. It's cavernous because it doesn't have the agitator. But holy shit, it does a bad job. My clothes are clean. I use Arm & Hammer with OxyClean. That OxyClean, that Arm & Hammer with the OxyClean, no link in the description, that keeps your clothes from fading. You'll get more life out of your clothes. I don't know if it's specific to the Oxy or whatever. You got a high efficiency with an agitator? Does it do the same thing, cheap out on the water, Venus? Or does it like actually fill up like a real washing machine? Rosie the robot. But that was funny, Jim West. How you doing, bro? I hope you're coming out next year. I hate pine sol smell. Ugh. Pine sol reminds me of one of the only hangovers I've ever had, which was from drinking gin. To this day, I cannot deal with the smell of pine sol. It takes me back to that hangover. It fills, again and again and again. I'm getting hit with air conditioning ads left and right. I mean, I know I'm in Vegas, but freaking take a breath. Alright. It fills up. Wow, that's a trip. Jim, I hope you think about coming out and seeing us this coming April. That'd be awesome. The desert is a dusty ass place to live. It's trippy. I want, you know, in the meantime, I'm gonna buy and I'd spend $500 on a Roomba. Like LG makes one, or someone else makes one. So I gotta hit Lotto, and then I'm gonna get one of those for a couple $100. You can get a refurbished one for like $200. Just have that MF or like driving around vacuuming and whatnot. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. You know, tell it to do it while I'm like out of the house. Can you tell it when to do it? I wouldn't want it to do it while I'm working. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. Is it an LG? No, it's not an LG. Your first thing over time was, we're like bros. We're like bros. Your first one was from your first thing over was from gin also. Oh, like when it came back up, that was that smell. Oh my God. Wow, yeah, a gin hangover. I don't know how people drink gin. It's like, I don't know, it's such a unique, weird taste. Gin. But I bet it wasn't, I didn't think it was bad at the time. Now it's just like, yikes. Quality means a lot to me. Yes, Marie Bell, I agree. You know, I mean, there's certain things that break that mold. You know, like, what's the old expression? Better to buy once than to buy once good than to buy 10 times bad type of thing. That still applies to a lot of things in life. But there's certain things you can get away with. You gotta ask yourself, how much am I actually using it that I should buy this well? If it's something you're gonna use once in a blue moon, you don't have to buy well. But if it's something that you're gonna use often and you don't want to buy it again, buy something good. Abso-friggin-lutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. LG is shitty washers. I don't have a lot of LG products, you know. I honestly don't. Kind of getting into them now, like their computers and thin clients and stuff. Miss Google with the 50 banana rams, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Gizzes. good night to you and have an absolute spectacular weekend. All right, let's see, where we at? Let's see if I missed anything else. Fan Fundalization. So again, thank you Maria and thank you Miss Google for the super chats. All right. So was that interesting? Should I tell more stories? I mean, okay, so we did some practical stuff about just try. Copilot's free. There's free versions of almost all the stuff. Just don't put any personal information in there. If you like, try it. Just try it. It's life-changing. The phone's AIs needs a lot of. I guess it depends on what you're using. You like the stories? All right. Maybe I will tell you. I can tell you the Frank Zappa story next time we get together. I'll think of something else. I got stories. I got some crazy ass stuff. And I'm still creating stories, you know? Every day of my life is like, it's an adventure. If your life isn't an adventure, make it one. Make it one. Step out of your comfort zone. Staying in your comfort zone is boring. And it leads to a boring life. Thank you, Paramount. I try. You know, I just try to go with the inspiration that I'm here with. Get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone, nothing good. I wouldn't say nothing good. That's wrong. Nothing exciting. Growth does not take place in your comfort zone. Growth only happens under the stress of new conditions, new experiences, new people, and getting out of your damn comfort zone. And that's when growth happens. And you're never too young and you're never too old to experience growth. You just aren't. You just aren't. You know? Don't resign yourself. This is my lot in life. Don't resign yourself, you know? Just don't, you know? The minute you think you know it all, and the minute you think, you know, that's just your lot in life, that's when your life is kind of over. You know, that's when it gets, you know, I always talk about the obligatory Christmas cards that are coming fewer and fewer and fewer from people from the past and whatnot. You know, like the guys who used to be like part of the crew, they're just like, they don't even bother sucking in their stomachs anymore. They're just like, and I'm, like, did you give up? At what point did you just say F it? You know, at what point? Let me know what point you just went like, whatever. You know, I'm not putting them down or anything, but the meaning of life and the purpose of life is what? To me, I mean, this has been argued since the beginning of time. It's to live. The purpose of life is to live. That sounds very cliche, but at the same time, maximize the time that you have doing the things that you love with the people you care about. Then you can say you've had a good life, or you're living a good life. I don't say had, don't forget about that had shit. You can truthfully say, I'm living the best life. Like, you know, like the younger ones say, I'm living my best life. No, you're living your best life when you're doing the things. I mean, you're not gonna love everything. You're not gonna love every aspect of your job. That whole, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life, that's bullshit anyway. But maximize your time. Enjoy your time. Use your time wisely. Once spent, it ain't coming back. You can't buy no more time. Yes, the afterlife, Valhalla, heaven, yeah, we got all the time in the world after that. But this life is a little different. Yes, we could always think about the future, but maximize your time here too. But remember, we do live behind enemy lines. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, maximize your time. But time is the greatest commodity. Spend it wisely. Spend it judiciously. Don't piss it away. Love your life. Love the people around you. do the things that are fulfilling. Time. And you know what's awesome? You guys spent your time with me. And I appreciate that. I mean, you just gave me some of the greatest commodity you have in your life, which is your time. And I appreciate it. And I do not take that for granted whatsoever. This isn't all about me, you know? This is about you guys and this thing that we do. So yeah, and I appreciate it. I'm truly grateful that you guys want to spend the time with me, and I want to spend the time. I couldn't wait for today. You know, after the week or the couple of weeks that I've had. So yeah, I'm gonna read the chats in a minute, but don't go anywhere. Even though I'm gonna do my thing. So one last time, I'm gonna invite everyone to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button to get notified when I do this again, just at least 2 times a week, and all the support and the super chats and all the things. I'm gonna try to come out Monday. We shall see, but we shall see. But the hit buttons, you'll find out. And I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik. Ooh, I did a sound effect. Alright, let me point these at the ceiling. Dancing on the ceiling. Oh, there we go. Alright, let me read chats real quick. Charlie M, thank you. Marie Bell, and I enjoyed it too, and I enjoyed having a fun night. Thanks for the stories. Look forward to more. Thank you, Brother Tom. Christopher C, you are welcome. I'm just doing some post wrap up here. Paramom. Do I tell good stories? I'm glad. Moon Unit, great listening to your chat as I work on my BS. I hear you. Well, I appreciate you being here, Moon Unit. That is freaking awesome. The one I get from LA Trip, we'll get it. That's why you Paramom on her paramotor. One day I gotta try that. I love your comments. You guys are awesome. And I love you. So that ain't no bullshit. I honestly do. And I can't wait to talk to you again. And on that note,